Saxon Course 2, Lesson 54 is on rate word problems. So here I have, if Mr. Gomez drives his car at an average speed of 55 miles per hour, how far will he drive in 3 hours? Since a rate is a type of ratio, we can draw a ratio box to help us solve this problem. So with my ratio box, on this, instead of dividing it into ratio and actual count, we're going to divide it into rate and actual count. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is distance and then time. So the distance he's traveling is going to be that 55 miles over 1 hour, because 55 miles per hour. And then my actual time is going to be 3 hours, because he's driving 3 hours. And then I want to know how far he's going. So now I turn that into a proportion. So I get 55 over 1 equals D over 3. I do cross products. And I end up with D, or 1 times D, which is the same as D, equals 3 times 55. So D equals 3 times 55, which is 165 miles. That's how far he's able to travel. For this one, Mr. Aikita's car averages 24 miles per gallon. Then about how many gallons of gas will she use on a trip of 300 miles? Again, I'm going to use a ratio box. Okay, ratio and actual count. And this one's going to be miles per gallon. So they go 24 miles on 1 gallon of gas, and we want to go 300 miles. So I need to figure out how many gallons of gas she'll need. Again, we're going to write our proportion. 24 over 1 equals 300 over gallons. I end up with cross products. 24 gallons equals 300. I'm going to divide those by 24. So my gallons is going to be 300 divided by 24, which is equal to 12.5. So she will need 12.5 gallons of gas to make her trip. Okay, for this one, it deals with money. So Hannah works for 8 hours at a sporting goods store and earns a total of $68. I first want to know what her hourly rate of pay is, and then use that rate of pay to find out how much she'll earn if she earns $30. So we're going to use a ratio box for both of these parts. So my first one is going to be the amount, the money, and then time in hours. So she's going to be working, she works for 8 hours. Well, that's my actual count. She worked for 8 hours, and she earned a total of $68. That's my actual count. And I know that I want to figure out how much she is paid in 1 hour. Okay. So I'm going to take that, and it's going to be the paid amount over 1 hour equals 68 divided by 8. Okay, we do my cross products. I end up with 8p equals 68 times 1, which is 68. I would divide 68 by 8, and p equals 8.5. So she's making $8.50 an hour. Okay, now that I know that, I'm going to use another ratio box to figure out how much she'll make in 30 hours. So this ratio box is going to be the rate times the actual measure. And again, it's going to be the money and the time. So she makes $8.50 an hour per 1 hour. And I want to figure out how much money she'll make, so how much she'll be paid if she works at 30 hours. Okay. So do cross products, or make my proportion, then do cross products. 8.5 over 1 equals T over 30. I end up with T equals 8.5 times 30. Multiply 8.5 times 30, and I get 255. So she gets, oh, sorry, not TP. She gets $255 for working 30 hours. And that's it for this lesson.